Okay, this is a 15-year-old girl named Ava, big star on Instagram and TikTok. You know, seven figures worth of followers. What it turns into in money for her, not quite sure what the numbers are and all that, but she's very, very successful. But with that success and that fame comes a downside for her, which are stalkers. One stalker came to her house with a gun. Her father, who's an ex-cop out of New Jersey, took care of that stalker. But she was in court trying to take care of someone else she's accusing of stalking, a classmate of hers. Adam Fisher from WFTX, our great affiliate down in Florida, has more on this story.
I was terrified. I took myself out of many things that I love, being around my friends in school. I modified my schedule so I couldn't see people. I took myself out of soccer as we were in states mid-season so that I could avoid being around him.
That's what Ava Majury told a Collier County judge, saying she withdrew from Gulf Coast High School and is now attending virtual school because she was scared of a classmate. Majury was seeking an injunction to force the 15-year-old classmate to stay away from her. We are not naming the 15-year-old because he is a minor and no charges have been filed against him. That classmate shared messages on TikTok with Eric Rohan Justin, the 18-year-old from Maryland who used a shotgun to break in the front door of the Majury home on July 10th before Robert Majury, a retired police officer, shot and killed him.
It was terrifying, and I felt extremely unsafe where I was, and as I was, I had nightmares here and there about everything, the whole situation. I'm scared to go on at night.
The classmate shared information on Justin with the Majurys when he was asked. Ava Majury said the classmate then started following her around school, sending her unwanted messages, and touched her on at least one occasion. Majury said she became frightened when the classmate posted an image of himself at a gun range on social media. However, Judge Kevin S. Cohen said the post could not be used in court and that it wasn't harassment because the image was not sent directly to Majury.
Things like the video of him at a gun range, it was undisputed, were not directed towards the petitioner and cannot be an act of stalking under the statute.
Judge Cohen dismissed the injunction because he said the classmate's actions did not meet the legal standard of harassment or stalking.
Although the court does think that it might be a good idea for the parties to remain separate from each other and to not have any contact, I can't enter an injunction to keep parties away from each other simply to keep the peace when they're not able to behave civilly towards each other.
Majury accepted the decision and said she wants to move on.
Although today didn't go as we wanted it to, I'm glad I got my truth out and our story was told.
That's the world we live in now. I mean, these are real issues impacting youngsters like this 15-year-old. I mean, you already have one stalker coming to your house with a shotgun, and she's scared. Her family is scared. Let's bring back in our think tank Michael Sterling, Ann Bremner, Rick King. And Bremner, your thoughts about this? The judge denied the protection she was seeking. She withdrew from the school. She's virtually learning now.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what to make of this because obviously the other child has rights as well, and apparently they didn't prove their case. But where does this leave all of this?
Well, right. I mean, I listened to the judge, and I've handled a lot of these, including for our prior mayor, who's being stalked throughout the unrest out here in Seattle. We still have hearings. It's very specific. It's a course of conduct. You know, it has to be actually stalking or harassment in a way that your safety is impacted, etc. Just because he's like kind of creepy or follows you around or was in touch with this guy that ended up at the house, how would he know that would happen? The judge says it's not enough. You're not meeting the statute. I mean, she has to be stalked or harassed in a course of conduct. And the judge just couldn't find those facts. And the gun, he's at a shooting range, it wasn't sent to her directly, and it wasn't meant for her. So I think the judge made the right decision. And then I think to myself, why doesn't she just get off TikTok? You know, I mean, if she's having these kinds of problems. I watch TikTok sometimes. I like the cat videos, personally. But, you know, I mean, the fact is that, does she want to be out there like you mentioned before? I mean, what world are we living in now that her basically her life was endangered. Her whole family's life was endangered. They have to move away because of what she's doing on TikTok. And I think, it's a whole new world, but these are considerations in a family with a 15-year-old. Don't you think you'd have your daughter do something else right now after all that's happened? And then legally, what do you do? The judge was right. So where does that leave us?
Well,
Right.
that question is answered by Ava that you just asked. Why don't you get off TikTok? Here is a post that she made on Instagram. She said, I want to clear up a few facts. I sold 2 or 3 Snapchat photos to the assailant for $5 over a month before the attempted murder of my family. I did so because I thought it would get him to stop harassing me and my friends. When he asked for explicit content, I blocked him. My parents and I did not know at the time that he was a stalker or a threat to our safety until he flew from Maryland to Florida in July of 2021 and tried to murder my family. After the incident, my family insisted that I get rid of my social media. I pleaded with them to not force me to give up all that I had built and let the assailant stop me from doing what I love. My family has suffered so much from this ordeal. I hope this sets the record straight and people resist the temptation to blame victims. Rick King, your thoughts here. This is, a lot of young people on social media, and it attracts people, right? I know I'm in the public light also with my show. You got to keep an eye on it as well. It's always an issue, but for a young girl like this, and I say girl, she's 15, already had a real threat to her life and her family's life.
At the same time, though, Vinny, in respecting what she said, I feel like we shouldn't get into the area of victim blaming. Here's a young girl, 15 years old. She's making like $2,000 a video at sometimes. She's making a lot of money doing this. She enjoys doing it. And so to question her parents for allowing her to continue doing that puts the blame on her. I'm not going to leave you hanging, Ann. I like TikTok a little bit myself too. But that being said, I don't want to, I feel like as a society, we need to step away from blaming the victim and blaming that person who traveled from Maryland with a shotgun, who's clearly has some mental problems. That's just a larger picture of what's going on in our society and the untapped or the unchecked mental health crisis that we're in as a nation.
Michael Sterling. Well, go ahead, Ann. You can respond.
No, I'm definitely not victim blaming. I represent victims. I have for many, many years, prosecutor, special assault, and everything else. But I think she needs to be safe. I just want to clarify. I always agree with you, Rick and Michael, but I can't say enough. She needs to be safe.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that you were victim blaming. I was saying we need to make sure that we're not blaming her for whatever artistic thing she's doing on TikTok. She should be allowed to do that. Safe, and she should be safe in doing it.
Yeah.
Michael Sterling, what's the answer here?
Well, Vinny, I just want to get back to what this was about, right? This was about a young man who she said was stalking her because he showed up to her soccer practice, because he followed her on TikTok, and because he gave her information relating to this guy who was actually stalking her. He didn't show up to her house. He didn't show up to places where her family was, at a restaurant. He didn't do any of those things. And so I think the judge got it right. And so you have to wonder what the motivation was in this particular incident about going. I don't know where to draw the line. Do I tell my son, hey, don't go to her locker? Don't show up to a practice if you're trying to pursue a young lady when you're in grade school. Like, don't do these things because you might end up with a TPO in court. It didn't sound like the guy did anything necessarily dangerous or threatened her in any way. Now, I understand that this other individual who was actually an adult, right? The 18-year-old, the person who was actually an adult did in fact stalk her, right? So yeah, I agree. We have to sort of protect. And then at the end of the day, Vinny, I'm not going to tell anybody how to parent their children. But as for me and my family, if it comes to safety, social media is over with. It's not a game. Like, we don't play games about your safety. So regardless of how you benefit or whatever it is, my very first priority for me and my family, I'm not, telling their family what to do, but the very first priority for me and my family is safety. And if they require me to get off social media or my wife to get off, I'm going to tell them this is what we have to do to protect our family, and that's what we're going to do.